Oh, look at that. How funny. Hi, it's me, Fiery Grace the Gifted. I say how funny because right when I go live, the washer stops. I was kind of worried about it because I'm actually doing laundry and other things that I intend to do when I'm working on the administrative side of the business. And I have been having this really intense feeling for the past couple days that there was a message that needed to come through. Some of you have received just out of nowhere, if we know each other, if you've been a client or a subscriber, some of you have received messages from me, from spirit, or even from your divine masculine out of nowhere, kind of no charge, because if I don't get the message out and to you, I will continue to be harassed. And so I was kind of getting worried because I was waiting for a name. I was waiting for who the message was for. It never came through. And now I feel like I have to go live. Someone needs to see this. And I'm in the middle of doing laundry and all my admin stuff. So I'm a little like right now, but it has to come out. And so I already blessed while we were waiting. I wanted to make sure I gave people time to get here. I'm going to split these decks, and this is going to be a very short message because I may have an emergency service coming up at midnight here. And so just bear with me, as most of you are so wonderful and always do. If you're new to my channel and you feel like this message is for you, please understand that I had no intentions of doing a live session right now, and just bear with me, okay? All right. Everyone, let's all take a collective breath. Okay. Oh, always with the candle, Fiery Grace. I have people ask me all the time, why do you guys forget your candle? Because I am the light. I do this for you guys. All right. Oh, my hands are, oh my gosh. The moment I just picked up the cards, my hands can't even, okay. Shaking so bad. Okay. All right, hold on. Straighten up. Straighten up. Some of you have seen me when I do your reading and my hands get like that and I have to like, I don't know what I do, but I just kind of like shake off that energy. Whew, I feel really hype right now. Oh man, what just happened? It's here. It's happening. I don't know if the person has arrived or something, but, or maybe, I don't know, because I'm starting. But woo, okay, all right. Are we shuffling or are we pulling back deck? Okay. I'm being told to pull a second card in the 3D. We good? Okay. 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 All right. This is so weird. Okay. Okay. Okay, someone's here that has to leave. Just wait 1 second. They're about to leave. Don't worry. Okay, thank you. They're gone. All right, so okay, I have to, okay, what is the message? What is it that, okay, so I believe that what's coming through is that someone doesn't understand something that's happening or has happened. And so the message is going to be from here. I guess that's why we have two. Okay, because the first card is going to be what it is that you're missing. The second card is going to be the reality. But it's going to be pertaining to the original energy, okay? Whew. Oh my gosh, I'm sweating. Oh my gosh, what's happening? Oh my gosh, I'm getting so hot. Okay, okay, okay. So the first thing you need to know is the move of divine. What happened that, I guess this is kind of speaking from a place of like what was I guess either whatever you thought wasn't going to change or whatever you thought was impossible, or maybe even something that they told you. And now it would have been basically like, you probably even have said it before, like it's going to take a miracle for this thing to happen. And This is the miracle that you've been waiting for. So what is it about? Oh my gosh, I cannot stop shaking. Woo. Oh, I'm so hot. Okay. Oh my, look at that. Okay, again, if you can hear my washer, please forgive me. Oh my God, I can't even talk right now. I know how loud it can be, and I tried to make sure it was quiet, but if you can hear it, please, please forgive my sound quality tonight. All right. The message is, you said it would take a miracle for their broken heart to be healed. You said it would take a miracle for them to get over their pain. You said. So this is the main thing you need to get from this is not the message. If you want the clarification for it, figure out what it is you said would never happen. Think about your biggest doubt about union or your divine masculine. That is what this is pertaining to. Okay. And this card, if it's talking about like the reversal, okay, because kind of that's what we're getting from here. This card is basically about healing in the opposing energy. This card is saying someone, oh my gosh, I got to put it down. It's like hurting my hand. This card is about them being able to forgive themselves for the past, right? Or forgive someone in their life. Like, for instance, if I look at this, I know that my divine masculine's father really hurt him tremendously. I know that his baby's mother really has bullied him and just, leave it alone, right? I know that there are things that are clearly his triggers, clearly his issues, and things that because I've always felt like he's never going to try to tackle them head on, they were things that would always be his problems. And I would watch him be triggered and watch him respond or shut down or get depressed and think to myself, oh my gosh, like until he deals with that, and he's never going to deal with it because it's so painful for him, he's just going to avoid it. Well, guess what? I'm even seeing my divine masculine through him trying to heal other areas. So maybe this is what made it possible. Maybe the divine masculines never thought that they would be able to fix this part of their life, and so they didn't even try to touch it. But maybe they went another direction, right? My divine masculine's trying to learn more about his heritage and open himself up. Basically, since he was a child, he kind of just lived in his head. He told me recently that with his parents, he always felt the best thing that he could do is just shrink himself down as small as possible to get out of their way. And so now he's starting to look outside of himself where before he didn't. And I think that in doing that, it's actually going to help to heal his relationship with his family or his son's mother or whatever, right? And so as these things shift and change, so shall he. Hi, baby. Did I wake you up? I'm sorry. So that being said, this is where you need to start to look. Where in your divine counterpart's life was there something that you it was like your main worry, and the one thing that when you really fell into doubt that it just dug at you? Wherever that is, again, through indirect or direct effort on their behalf, they have begun to heal. Okay, before we move to the move, how did that happen? 7 of Pentacles. Seeds well planted. Something someone said a long time ago, or a seed of faith within them. I always call it, I've heard about that thing. Oh, and that's 10, that's completion. So we're ending something. I always talk about the twinkle in someone's eye. It's funny, when I walked away from my family and I did, because no one other than maybe my father, who I was like, bye, and then I changed my phone number, knew that I had said goodbye. And so at some point I finally did put on my Facebook, and I knew I only had it up for like a day, but I knew that eventually people would see it. That because my family is a bunch of gossips. And so I knew that someone would say something. And so in the bottom, and the last thing I said is, whether I choose to engage with you in the future or not, if you see me, basically allow me to approach you. And if not, maybe we'll pass each other by and kind of see that twinkle in our eyes, which to me was that little seed of love that connected us because we were family. And so that's what I see right now. I see this little twinkle, that thing where even if your divine masculine can come across as the most damaged, frustrated, miserable cur that you've ever met in your life, you can see them. You can see through it. And that is what matters. So whether it was you planting the seed, that might even be helpful for you to understand what this is about, or whether this is about someone else. What's interesting too is the Three of Swords has a heart, right? Typically on it. And then we're seeing the seed of faith, right? And the heart of the ancestor. We see Grandmother Willow, right, in the tree. To me, that's a sign. I'm sorry if I'm talking too fast, by the way. Just let it happen. To me, that's a sign that there was something inside of them all along that was just meant to explode at such a time as this, meant to just suddenly expand. Okay, so what is the move then? So we're seeing it's about the heart. We're seeing it's about the healing. We're seeing it's about letting go of triggers and sadness and pain. So what is the move of God that actually happened? Wait. Okay, sorry. I have to explain this first. I'm sorry. I didn't know that. Okay. So this is where they were. Or this is the move of God. This is how it impacted them that you don't know yet. Okay. So I guess we're going to get a different message. Love that. Love that. So it basically brought them, since this was the completion energy, that 10 we saw, and then we also see the multiplicity, which is, to me, wow, that's incredible. Further confirmation of the expansion. You know what's freaking nuts? Oh, I should have done it. I'm trying to keep this short, but you know when you try to rush in the morning and it's like the faster you try to move, it actually slows you down. So it's better to just slow down. So I'm just going to take a breath because I'm trying to go too fast and it's probably just not going to work. Okay. So when I was here, if you heard me talking about the expansion, in the past, I've talked about two things and I actually saw both. So I'll explain both. Imagine like the Grinch, if you know that story, and where the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes in his chest. And then also imagine a butterfly climbing out of a chrysalis. Well, last year sometime, I saw an image of the divine you know what's, I need to hit this client up. I don't think this is about her. She's in union now, so this wouldn't be for her. Well, maybe no, probably not. But I think I need to hit her up. That's very specific. I saw it in her reading and then I explained it later to you guys. Sorry. So imagine that the heart or the chrysalis are covered in dark black, just thick a crust, like tar that has hardened or something like that. And imagine you watching from afar this heart or this chrysalis have this kind of vibration to it, and then it starts to crack. And then light starts to pour out of the crack, like rays of bright, blinding light. And then it just explodes. I saw that happening to the divine masculines last year. So to see this go from the 3 of Swords, which has the heart on it, to the 9 of Cups, which is dreaming, the fullness of life. And the fact that we have 10 energy here, which is the move. And this is how God will send the energy down into the inner man, into the spirit. So divine feminines, I think the message here for you might be aware that the things that you've been doing to pursue your dreams, to get prepared for your dreams, have actually been the triggering thing in here. The healing you've done, these cards here also pertain to you. This is only DM. This is, I believe, the message that's going to be for you. But this is what you need to understand you were doing and you were impacted by as well. And so you need to ask yourself, what seeds, oh my gosh, that just, holy crap. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. I just got struck. Whoa. Sorry, that was for me. I just needed to download that and I'm back. Okay. No. No tears, not right now. Get it through. Oh. Okay. Okay. So when we see this here, we see where the expansion is happening. It is happening in their heart. And the thing that is laid outside of it, which is the anger and the bitterness and the frustration, has been basically blown off. So what is it that we really don't understand about their dreams, the things that they're doing, the 9 energy right before, right? They're receiving this from divine, and divine has signaled to them that once they heal, then they can have the world. As crazy as it sounds, that's what I see. Okay, if we multiply this by 3, we get 9. If we multiply that 7 by 3, we get 21. This is basically bringing them to an end in multiple areas of their life. Okay. We know this is happening, but here's our confirmation. Okay. And so what is it that we don't understand that I think we would really miss? It It so stinks right now that I'm going so fast because I said in my head, this is the Empress. The way that we received this was Empress, and it's here. I keep going, Grace. Look, what we're missing is it's all about us, and it stinks sometimes as divine feminines to always have to be the ones to be the bigger person, to be, the leader, to lead by example when we've been hurt too, and we're going through things too. But the truth is, we're the awakened ones. And it's not to say, oh, you're better than them. It's to say that you know better than them. Maybe not in everything, but at least in the areas of light and love and kindness, and you know better than they do. That's why that's on you. It won't always be like that, but that's where it is now. So that being said, here's what their 3D, okay, you see that they received it in their 5D. Their 5D is really beginning to open up to the idea of it's time for dreams to come true. This is okay for us to devote ourselves to. Crazy. I just looked down twice in a row and I see 256 in the chat, and then a couple seconds later 265 in the chat at 11:56. How weird is that? Okay, back to this. So seeing this energy in the 3D is what should help you understand where you come in and what this final message will be. What is it that we need to know about what actually changed in the 3D once they were, I think, not necessarily at the end yet, but once they saw the end, once they saw the light at the end of the tunnel was in reach and not a tiny little blip. Okay. We have 369 on the board. I mean, technically it's 396, but we do see an upward spiral. That's how I see it. I see not a downward spiral. I see an upward spiral. I see Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz. Why is that familiar? Did I just talk about that? I did just talk about Dorothy, but it might have been in a personal though. Anyways, man, that's weird. Ooh, this is so weird. But anyways, oh my gosh, Grace, stay focused. You're not you. Y'all, I did not do a good job preparing for this. I should have breathed or something more. Okay, but anyways, upward spiral, tornado, pick someone up and drop them in a new place that would take them directly to their ultimate goal. Okay, so all that being said, we see the Six of Pentacles, which is the divine masculine's way of showing love. I think that there is a little bit of an issue with us being able to see them as finally starting to make the shift, finally starting to make the change. The problem is when someone makes these very logical and rational deductions about the way to show affection or love, it can come across as what we all hear all the time from other readers, crumbs. We don't accept crumbs, ladies. Crumbs, 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 crumbs. Listen, half of you don't even notice the crumbs to talk about if he starts to come around with crumbs. He already did probably come around with crumbs. She probably already did come around with crumbs and you didn't accept it. And I know I'm gonna get flack for it. I have noticed in the past few days, I've been getting a lot of new subscribers or people who have never, come and commented other than to kind of criticize me before, coming out and saying, well, when I first found you, or some of them are saying, I just found you and I think you're too mean to divine feminines and you're always yelling at us and da 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 da. And it's like, listen, I get it. But guess what? Those same exact people always end up coming back around and saying, the truth is, Grace, I just didn't want to hear it. I preferred the other readers that I watched because they made me feel good about me. And they made me feel good that I was right, that he was so awful or she was so terrible and she would never blah, blah, blah. But that was not what I needed to hear. And I was keeping myself stuck in a downward spiral. So it's very interesting. The more people who actually listen to the message rather than shooting the messenger will start to see what's really coming through is these divine masculines are changing. They're getting better. And this one in particular, if this really truly is for one person, this divine masculine in particular is trying to say to you, listen, I am spiraling up, but I am coming from such a deep, dark place of getting out of my dark night that you don't even know what I've got going on. There's so many things that I'm doing in my head, changing my perspective, changing my mind that you don't even know. You have no idea what I'm going through right now. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. So what is it that we don't even know about what they've been doing then? Maybe we can get a little insight into that. Four of Swords. So the first step is, oh, look at them. They're healing their PTSD, you guys. And that's 10 again. Wow. And the Hanged Man is coming off the tree. Wow. Oh man. Okay. Sorry. They're healing their PTSD. They some of them are still laying on their sword, meaning not telling you what they're changing, not telling you what they're doing. Those people are going through things that they have. You know that as much as you're going to say to yourself, oh yeah, I'll tell my DM everything, yeah, you probably will tell them everything by the time you guys are like off this planet. But while you're here, there might be some things that even you're ashamed to talk about or scared to share. And so everyone is entitled to their privacy, even your twin flame. I think that's something that you really need to learn to understand. And right now they're taking time to sift through those private thoughts and all the things they're healing from, and over time they might share with you. It might take 60 years for them to one day say to you, I was really hurt about my dad when I was young. Because it might take them that long to realize that is the root cause. But the fact is, the reason that they're laying on their sword still right now and not being open with you is because they don't even know what's happening to them. And they're just trying to make sense of it all while things are still beating them up. They're still in transition phase. They still don't know as much as you know in many cases, or at least in certain areas or aspects of life. And they don't realize that this doesn't have to be as scary, but it's probably for a reason. They're being brought through this tough time to give them the heart of courage that they need. They had to be a coward first. And again, some of you get offended when I say something like that. Don't talk about my DM. Like, listen, I'm sorry, but it's true. I'm sorry, but it's reality. They had flaws or faults, and you do as well. And if I called you out for it, you would unsubscribe. So let me just be real, okay, about where your DM was. So this is interesting. We see someone who the reason why it looks like crumbs is because they're still laying down on top of their sword, their power, their truth right now. They literally, some of you already know this, I see the Three of Swords as someone pulling the sword in the stone like Camelot, right? Pulling the sword out. And so if that's what's happening here, if that's what's occurring here, then it would make sense that in the 3D, they've decided, well, since I've pulled these swords out of my heart, and now I know where my true sword is, or, maybe one of them was the true sword. Maybe that one right deepest in the middle was actually their power, was actually their source of truth. And so now they're laying on it, I think almost like to charge it up, to make sure that they don't run out too soon before they're fully healed and immediately get, taken down. So this is interesting. They are doing a lot more than you think. Now, isn't that strange? The candle goes out right before we start the final message. So here's the new stage. Here's the new, my hands are like, whew, okay. We will light a new candle. Well, it's not like a new candle, but we will light a different candle, and we will now look at where they're at now. As they spiral up, what's happening? So here's the move. Their percent. I'm sorry. Their perspective has changed. Divine is sending them a feeling that it's kind of, how do I say this? Do you know those moments where you feel as a divine feminine, the love for your DM, even though you're still in the midst of the BS? You know those moments where you're kind of in your Queen of Swords, where you're looking at them and you're like, I love you. And you just kind of laugh. Because it's just like, because I think this is saying you remember being there. You remember when you first got righteously indignant. You remember when you first learned about that thing that was your passion. You remembered. Whew. Oh man. I'm about to cry again, you guys. I don't know. I don't know why. It's like, oh crap. Oh man. Okay, good. It was only one tear. Okay. So why am I crying? Because of that. One sword, three swords. Four of Swords has three swords hanging over with one sword on the bottom. The perspective about why they've gone through what they've gone through is changing. We've talked about this every so often. A large group of the divine masculines in the collective gets this message that says, okay, maybe the bad things that happened to me in my life were for a reason. Oh, wow, And we as divine feminines, sometimes in the middle of our struggles, I will admit, even I do it, I will be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this happening? Right? But then pretty much like, and you, some of you know, because you've been on my channel long enough, you've heard me talk about that. I was assaulted. And it only took about a year after that of me saying, why, me of all people, me, an advocate for men, because I always have been, always. I think it's because my dad made me like that. He was really sneaky and manipulative. And so he would always talk about how awful women were. And so now in my older years, I recognize that that was what kind of made me kind of like, ew, women, feminism, gross. But now I'm more balanced. But that was what made me like kind of look at my mother and really be judgmental. And so sorry, back to it. A year after I get assaulted in college, a girl who, again, I don't even hang out with girls. I just happened to decide the year that I was assaulted to enter a pageant. And the following year, crazy enough, my guy friends who were surprised that I joined the pageant in the first place because of the fact that I was the way I was, I was best friends with them and knew basically none of the girls in the pageant. I knew of them, but you know what I mean? And so when I first went into my interview, my homeboys, I remember one of them was like, what are you doing here? Like they turned the recording off and they're like, why are you here? You know, this is all women, right? So anyways, the following year I'm invited to be the pageant mom and the coordinator because I was so the unanimously voted Miss Congeniality kind of thing. Like it, just because I didn't hang out with women didn't mean I didn't know how to interact with people and be respectful. And so I don't even know how that went down, but somehow she was in my pageant with me and somehow she needed to learn the walks, which I don't think she did because we didn't actually practice that and she was amazing. It was because she needed to talk to someone and I guess that was how she was able to get to I don't even know if she intended on it or not, but she told me she was assaulted like the week before or in that last few days. And I actually was able to fully be there for her, like truly on the most empathic level possible. So I learned a lot like 10 years ago or more that things happen, right? And the why usually is so that you can turn your scars into stars. A lot of us have learned those things. A lot of us have had those direct experiences where we might ask why, and then we meet someone and we help them on a level that no one else could. And we go, oh, the divine masculines have never understood that. Every bad thing that happens to them seems like a direct affront, an attack, an ambush from life. Whew. All that being said, the divine masculine's perspective has changed. They're beginning to look at things. Remember, I've showed you guys the yin and yang symbol. So we all, as our 5D self, are basically a yin and yang symbol that got popped apart and put into two people. But then that part of our yin and yang that went into us, okay, then we become whole as a part of that. I can't do it without my drawing, but so you might have been the divine feminine with only a little bit of divine masculine in you, but then once it came into you, you became a whole yin and yang as your one half of a self. It's hard. Oh my gosh. Some of you understand, some of you don't, and it's okay. It'll click one day if you don't get it. My point in talking about that is the divine masculines also have that. And even though they might only have the small portion of the divine feminine when they first are split, when they become, a part of that wholeness, they can nurture their inner divine feminine just like we can, as divine feminines, nurture our inner divine masculine. That being said, they have finally started to see things from another perspective. The other day, I watched a video of firemen getting ducklings out of a storm drain. And I watched as the mama bird kind of went around and I shared it and I deleted it because you guys don't like to watch other stuff other than my like DM readings and my love letters, but I shared it on my community tab. Some of you saw it and they were so careful with the ducklings. The mama had 9 ducklings. And those firemen laid on the ground, pulled the thing up, did all the things, climbed down into the drain. They were so delicate and sweet with that mama bird and her baby birds. And that is the new divine masculinity that we are coming into. And this is how it starts. That little circle of the inner divine feminine within the divine masculine, okay? That little circle is being, I don't know, maybe that's what the part of the crust falling off is what I'm seeing. They're shifting and they're changing their perspectives because they're allowing themselves to recognize that providing and protecting, you still have to have a little bit of nurturing in there. Because what good is it if you provide for your children and provide them with the house, but the house is falling apart, there's mold everywhere, they're always getting sick? What good is it if you provide for them and you're feeding them, but all you feed them is junk food? So you see, there has to still be a little part of it that says, let's also make sure that this is all good. And so that is where the divine masculines have changed. This is what you didn't even know that you always thought they would always just be the DM. You never knew that just as you have to sometimes be the DM, they will sometimes have to be the DF, or at the very least, their inner feminine will come in and expand. So, how does this energy impact them in the 5D? Now, this will symbolize some major awakening. What is this? Okay. Some of you know, and you've been around long enough. So you've already seen, you know that I have a special relationship with the tarot imagery and twin flames, because I've been a twin flame reader pretty much. So this is a twin flame symbol. This is a twin flame symbol. This, not all the cards are, it's going to look like it right now, but look what's showing up on the board. The opposite, this is the divine masculine's way of showing love. The divine feminine's way of showing love is the 6 of Cups. And so we see all of this kind of twin flame symbolism. This is telling us that this is not just about a general awakening, and this is not for everybody. This is for twin flames, and this is for twin flame divine masculines. What's the story between these two? Well, guess what? These two, their energy means the same thing when you reverse one of them. Dreams, okay? Nightmares, okay? And it's just one of the meanings, but that's what I've always tried to explain to you guys. To see that they are entering a space where they're no longer self-sabotage is probably one of the most powerful messages that we as divine feminines could ever receive. Because the fact is, it's joined together here in their 5D energy, in their 5D space. We see the Hanged Man energy twice, 3 and 9. And then remember, the card back here was a 3 as well. We see the Hanged Man, they're coming off the tree. Why? Because their ego is no longer in charge. Because they now rule their thoughts. It's because they are no longer looking at life as an attack or an ambush. They're looking at life as something to go forth and conquer and be. Okay. See, again, I have to start saying the messages as they come. Why? Because you guys know me. What do I see here? I see 10 of Swords or 10 of Pentacles. What are the odds that here we see 10 of Swords? But guess what? Right under this is 10 of Pentacles. I got to start speaking up. The other day I did a reading, and I believe it was a collective reading. If not, it wasn't. But it was like underneath. No, it was a personal. Underneath one of the cards was another card that was like a sync, and something told me lift up the card and look under, and I didn't until I went to go shuffle after the video was over, and I was like, "Argh," because I felt like they missed that message or they missed the extra sync. So I'm glad that we just saw that. This is why they're changing, because they have continuously allowed their ego to run them into the ground, and the farther they got away from the 10 of Pentacles, which is the light at the end of their tunnel, the more they felt like they were under attack and that life sucked. So now we see divine masculine who no longer lives that way, because that 10 of Swords that they were sitting in for so long, it's done. They've got the sword in their hand now, people. They're no longer allowing their perspective about life to be so freaking miserable. You know why they felt that way? Because they didn't think they had anything they could do about it. They didn't think they had enough power to change it. They didn't believe that what they were supposed to do and meant to do was even possible. And so they said, this sucks. How am I supposed to provide and protect when I can't even get a leg up, a foot in the door? How? Now they're looking at it and they're going, they look at the sword in their hand, and instead of going, you know, great, you gave me a knife at a gunfight. Now they're going, okay, if I can get good enough with this, like Neo from the Matrix, I could deflect bullets with this if I wanted to. They know, they're looking at the tools that they have and realizing that they're only as valuable as they allow them to be. So the first message here is about what you think is happening or what you think has to change or whatever. There's something about this that you've been so wrong about, and here is what's really happening. What do we need to know? Wow. You really honestly believe that they're not working on themselves. You really honestly believe that they're not doing anything. And now we see 10-10. This is their year. This is the year that they change. The only way that they can go into next year in the year of divine masculinity is if they've been doing the work all along that you've been denying. You have been saying they're not changing. You have been saying that there's nothing happening. You have been telling them that they've been out there living their best life, screwing and doing whatever, okay? And now you're getting a message that clearly says, stop. Stop it. Stop acting like that. Stop being miserable. Stop being so upset. Stop getting mad at me as a reader and any other reader who, you know, I'm not even a freaking reader. I am a freaking coach. I am an intuitive life strategist. Every single reading I offer has the same message and the same coaching, and yet you still come, watch, and get mad. Your soul knows that there is truth in my words because it comes from divine. But your ego doesn't want to hear it because you've told yourself you don't have an ego. So guess what? Now you're never going to get the message. You see? Stop it. Some of you hear me, it hurts, and you do what you're supposed to do. Some of you hear me and it doesn't even hurt because you've been saying the same thing to yourself and this was your confirmation. Some of you work so hard and you watch my messages just to make sure that you check yourself. Wherever you're at, whoever this is for, please listen. Please. So what is it that's really happening? What is it that you don't understand about what they're doing? God is amazing. God is good. No, you know what? God is better than good. Chicken is good. God is amazing, amazing, amazing. It is the King of Pentacles. They have been diligently working on not only being who they were meant to be, but also achieving, look what's underneath. They just got to get the download. Sorry. And also achieving the fullness of their purpose. This is not about you. This is about them. Stop trying to make their journey yours and stop trying to make your journey theirs. Oh, that's a message. And guess what? 11. They're working on it and they're making sure that they become the person they were always meant to be. The one they told you that they had to be before you got together. They've been working on it this whole time. Oh, man. So these messages are for the divine feminine. Divine feminine, we are approaching a incredibly powerful portal, and it is happening in this time. If you're watching this later, a year later, months later, and you're saying, why am I watching this? I get that all the time. Someone will find a video from 2 years later, they'll get recommended and they're like, well, not 2 years, but like a year and a half later. And they'll say, why did this get recommended? And why does this resonate? Because these messages are meant to be timeless. And so maybe the person who was meant to see this isn't here and they'll see this later. If you're confused about how to apply this and you're looking at this down the line, again, the best way to understand timeless readings, if you feel like they are actually resonating more for that period of time that they were first put out, go through your text messages, go through your camera roll, go through your emails, find anything that has a timestamp in your life to remember the day. Remember where you were, what you were doing, even your Google or Apple tracker that tracks every move you make, going in there and trying to figure out where was I, okay? Find your timeline and figure out what this is about. But for those of you who are here now, and if you're here and this is your message, this is what you need to know about what's about to happen for you, as long as you're able to acknowledge what's happening here. So what is it that we need to know? Well, first of all, it's good to feel good. That's a message. Why don't we seem to understand that? Or why are we not really living in this truth? Wow. Divine feminine, I can't make this up, honey. The universe has big plans for me, and it's time for me to claim them. Not when my divine masculine and I finally get into union. Not when my divine masculine and I finally start talking. Not when my, divine God, Lord, Source, Spirit finally reveals to me if I'm with the right person or not. Not now. None of them times. Now. It is time for you to begin. It is time for you to claim your divine masculine. Oh, I get it. Oh, I get it now. You want to know why this is a problem and why this message had to come through? Because your divine masculine is going to pass right by you and you won't even know it. You two are supposed to be on these parallel roads until you come into, right? And so if you are both supposed to be moving, but you decide to sit over here and stall out, then guess what? They're going to get to the point where you're supposed to meet and they're going to look around and wonder, well, where are they? I'm going to look under a rock. You under here? No. Huh. Where's my divine feminine? Where is my divine feminine? Where is my divine feminine? Are you here, divine feminine? Are you present? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because I feel like you're not. I feel like you think you're ready, but then every single time I call anyone out for being ready and I tell them all the reasons why they're not ready, they go, Grace, you're right, I'm not ready. So stop pretending that you're ready. At the very least, make sure you're ready. And then say, no, Grace, I know I'm ready. And then guess what? You won't snap on me and you won't get mad at me and you won't try to, get defensive with me because you'll just know. I tell people that all the time. If you deal with people in your life that are really bad and shady, the best thing you can do is have integrity. Why? Because even if they try to sue you, take you through the ringer, throw you under the bus, even if they might even succeed in some way, you will always know you did the right thing. They will never be able to hurt you, stop you, impact you negatively. Okay, so it's good to feel good. I need to start making my moves because little did I know my divine masculine might already be somewhere and I might be the one holding it up. I don't even know now. Let's find out. What's the final message? Divine feminine, now that you've learned this, what do you need to know? What do you need to, I think, embody and use to attract the most good in your life right now in order to also attract the divine masculine? Oh my, I just saw the phrase introduce joy and that right there is enough. That right there is enough. But okay, let's read. When I introduce joy to a situation, I change the vibrational frequency of what's happening around me. So guess what? Divine feminine, all this time you've been waiting for your divine masculine to support you and love you. Here's your message. Your divine masculine just came out of their deep, dark hole where they're miserable and frustrated still, trying to work through all their flaws and faults, trying to get a new level of understanding, all this. They just came out of a place of complete brokenness. How many times have you done that before? You know what I'm talking about, where you've had to be there for someone else when you really did not have the money or the emotional capacity to deal with them, but you knew no one else did and you did it anyways. Well, your DM just did you a solid. Your DM just came out of the darkest depths of their own pit to say to you, listen, you are more powerful than me, at least right now. Can you please help us out? Introduce joy into the situation. Change the frequency of what we've got going on. Please meet me. Meet me at the meeting place. Divine feminine, please be there. Be there on time. Can you imagine Romeo and Juliet if they had gotten there at the exact moment? What could have been? The great love story. We could have been reading about some, beautiful couple who spent the rest of their lives racing across the world together, just enjoying and being a light instead of star-crossed lovers. That is not you guys. You are not going to miss each other. You're not. But if you keep telling yourself you are, how miserable are you going to be this whole time? And what if you miss some of the most valuable things along the path because you got tears in your eyes? Have you ever been driving when you're crying when you know you shouldn't be and you missed your turn or you don't see the light change or because that is what's happening. Your eyes are blurry because you're so sad. Get out of it. Get out of there. Be the divine feminine you were meant to be. Whew. Oh my gosh, guys. All right. I just see that my client that I was supposed to meet at midnight is in fact available. I'm going to get going. If you are, okay. All right. Hold on a second, Grace. See, a lot of you know that I don't really like the whole, like sales and all that, but the reason I do it, and you'll all learn this as you begin to see your light work as God's job, God's business, God's stuff, not yours. I am a good steward. So I'm going to make sure that all of you know how you can reach me for a variety of ways. Welcome. I'm Fiery Grace the Gifted. I am an intuitive life strategist here on YouTube. You may be drawn to me because I am in union. Sorry, my paper's shaking. I'm still shaking a bit here. You may be drawn to me because I'm in union. You may be drawn to me because I'm a coach. You may be drawn to me as a prophetess and a priestess because you recognize that I don't do things for my own good. I do them for the good of the kingdom of the Lord. And I truly believe, whether you've had bad experiences with Christians or good experience or whatever, I truly believe that if I follow my truth in my heart and my soul, which says love conquers all, that I will be doing the right thing. I don't condemn anyone. I know sometimes people who are in third party situations think that maybe I might judge you, but I don't judge anyone for anything. I love you guys. I may be hard on you, but it's because I'm here to change your perspective. I'm here to help you figure out that you might be making a mistake and need to make a change in your life. And then I'm here to provide you with the strategies for it. So if you're interested in working with me, I have long-term coaching available. I have YouTube sessions. I have exclusive readings that are not private, personal, tailored readings, like tailored to your situation, but they are collective messages that are meant for a certain few. So a lot of you have ordered those exclusives this month. They were big, they were explosive, okay? But they've been really beneficial. So if you don't have a lot of cash right now, or if messages like this, the divine masculine readings, divine feminine readings, the love letters are resonating, and you need that extra message and you feel called to it, visit my website and look for the exclusives. They'll also be once this reading is over, they will be in the description and the comments section about how to find the exclusives. You can also work with me one-on-one in long-term coaching. There is a minimum $1,000 investment for a minimum of 1 month. My average length of my contracts is 3 to 6 months, and I try not to go longer than a year because I don't want to be your coach for the rest of your life. I am a project manager. I like to help people make changes. I am a consultant. I like to come in, fix it, and then I like for people to be able to do things without me there. So I'm a teacher and I teach people how to fish so that they have an ocean at their feet for life. So if you would like to work with me on that regard, there's the information you'll need for that. Otherwise, most people work with me through YouTube readings and phone sessions, as well as live chats. I don't offer tarot over the phone. I think the visuals are important. And so if you're interested in a live tarot session with me and you actually want to talk, then you'll just look for a live chat. Is there anything else? Oh yes, right now I have a bunch of specials. Every month I have specials, but I also have, because of the pandemic, I do a flash sale every week now rather than twice a month. And so right now I have a really good one. It's a big one. It's not on every single service, but it is 25% off most of the services. So at least half of the site is on sale. And then the rest of the stuff, if it's already on sale for the monthly sale, it's not going to qualify for the extra discount. So just because I've been getting the same emails, I figured I would throw all that out there. Yes, I do private love letters. Yes, I do private coaching. Obviously, you should have just gotten all that, but I still get the same questions. So last thing is email me if you would like an auto reply that lets you know what it's like to work with me. If you shoot me an email, it can be blank, or you can even just say, looking for the auto reply. Like, it literally can be blank, and I'm not going to email you back. You're just going to get an auto reply. So I don't ever want anyone to feel like they will get spammed. I don't believe in that. I accept PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. I believe that's everything. I thank you for being here, and I hope that whoever is meant to receive this message, if you weren't here now, that you get it later. But I love the fact that within the message for someone in particular that really needs to get it, we also have this message from a collective, because this divine masculine is not the only one going through this. As you guys saw, I kind of got slapped in the face with a few things throughout the reading for my own divine counterpart. But there is someone out there who needed to hear this, and I really hope that before you turn these messages down, especially from me and other readers who really have a lot of love for you, that will stop what we're doing in the middle of our day, in the middle of our night, and put these messages out. We are not just doing this to, I don't know what possible reasons you think, but we're doing this to make sure that the people who need to hear the truth will hear it. So if you believe that someone else needs to hear this, or some parts of this reading, please like it, please share. Thank you for all of you who continue to subscribe. I'm at 17,000 subscribers. There is a monthly seminar going on for both creating an online business, especially for people who are interested in YouTube or social platforms. But now I also have a second one that is just a YouTube walkthrough. It will literally go from, creating the account all the way down to the nitty gritty, whether it's uploading the video and everything that you can do to make sure that video is promoted properly. If you have a YouTube channel already and you don't have the YouTube Studio app and you don't know how to go into the computer studio, I'm finding more frequently that people don't even know that there is a back end to YouTube. So if you have a channel and you're wondering why it's not getting better, why it's not growing, and you keep seeing me do this, and on top of having a channel, have a completely separate business where I am making, more money than I've ever made in my life, and still I am nowhere near as expensive as most readers, from what some of my favorite clients keep telling me to increase my prices. I'm too scared to do that because I feel like I'm gonna alienate people who cannot afford those $250 readings for an hour. I can't do that yet. I can't. And so for now, if you want to be a part of this and you want to learn how to do it for yourself, take one or both, either or. Check out the website for the monthly seminars. You can always search terms on my website. And then last but not least, channel memberships. If you are interested in supporting the channel, it's as low as $10 a month. It'll come out automatically, and you'll just be letting me know that I'm on the right track. I'm doing things that really benefit you, and it allows me to continue to offer the public readings for free rather than charging people for like extendeds and stuff like that. I just personally don't believe in that. So that was everything. I'm gonna go now. I love you guys, and whatever you were meant to hear or learn from this, I pray that you get it. Because this was a lot more than I was expecting, but it was also one of the most necessary readings I've ever seen. And so I pray that the one person who was supposed to hear something got it, and that the rest of you got something out of this. And I pray that you know how much I love you, because as much as it pains me to hear that some people receive my messages as like mean, I also understand, which is why you hear me apologize so much. And then someone will say, why do you apologize if you think your message is real? It's because I know how it feels to be criticized. And I know that some of us, we didn't grow up with the best people in our lives who were, very critical of us. And so we never really learned how to take constructive criticism. So just know that this is all love that I give and all love that I share these messages with you. And that I'm a big sister, and I want to be there for you the best I can. So thank you for supporting me in being able to continue to be myself and allow these messages, these tough messages, to flow through me, to speak up on things that I know are going to get me attacked, and do it anyways. Thank you for supporting me as a prophetess and a priestess. So if you're interested in being a part of that, there is a bunch of perks, a bunch of amazing things that you can get from being a part of the channel. You literally just have to go to where it says subscribe and click join, or go to my channel, look for where it says join in big blue letters. It's all through YouTube, not through me. And it's just a great way to support the channel and let me know that I'm on the right track. And then also, like I said, get extra bonus messages. By the way, if you join as a channel member, please, all of your stuff, the only way I can provide it to you is through YouTube's community tab. So in the same place where you'll see like those posts from me, like Instagram posts or like little advertisements, that's where your stuff will be. I recorded a bonus message for the members last week, and I don't think any of you guys saw it. So please make sure you're checking the community tab once you become a member, because that's where all of your stuff is going to be, and only you can see it. All right. I'm calling you now, girl. All right. I love you guys. I'm out of here. I don't know if she's actually here or not, but I'm calling her now. Okay. I love you. I'm out of here. Peace.